Hello world! So the patch notes for OB40 came out today, and the patch may or may not hit the live server today. They're having like some technical difficulties or whatever's going on. So I figured I'd do kind of a quick rundown about the patch notes. There's really nothing too major except for the release of Tyra. I've been playing her a little bit on the PTS. She's really fun to play. I've got a first impressions video of her that you can see as well. I'll make sure to post a link to that. But other than that, there's a couple of minor changes that we can look over, so I figured I would look over those now before the patch actually goes live. So let's take a look. Alright, so we know that Tyra is the latest addition to the champions. I'm really not going to go into a lot of huge detail on her because I have a separate video about my first impressions of her, and I'm going to be doing other videos about how to best play her and how she works well kind of in the meta right now. But mainly what you really need to know is that she has an auto rifle. She doesn't look down scope like Victor does. She does pretty nasty damage. I mean, that's really the best way to put it. She has a really good set of abilities. Her cards fit her very well, and she's just nasty to play. I feel like a lot of people are kind of jumping into saying, oh my gosh, she's too OP, she needs to be nerfed, but I also feel like everybody says that in every game that releases a new character. So, I actually don't think she's OP. I think she's a good champion. I think she's top tier, but I wouldn't necessarily say that she's OP yet. Of course, she hasn't hit the live server yet, so my only experience with her has been on PTS. But playing her so far, I don't necessarily think she's OP. I think she's good. I would not be surprised if she got nerfed like a little bit just to get tweaked. Here in the next like couple of months, especially after HRX and after she gets put on the live server and there's like a lot of feedback from her. But anyway, like I said, all you need to know is Tyra's good. Tyra good. Alright, so let's go down to let's see, everything else. Oh yeah, so there was a lot of cosmetic changes, and as you probably saw from the patch preview, they made some major cosmetic changes to Cassie. They changed her whole look, and my favorite thing about Cassie that they changed was her crossbow. So if you haven't kind of realized this by now, Cassie's crossbow is more kind of like an automatic weapon, basically. She doesn't have to necessarily draw a bow and pull it, much like Shaolin does. Cassie's just kind of goes and goes and goes and goes, but she does have to reload it with arrows, so she does kind of have that ammo limit to her. But so instead of making it look like an actual like bow and arrow bow, they made it look more like an actual crossbow, like think Daryl from The Walking Dead kind of crossbow. That's like the best comparison that I could think. I love the way it looks because before this change, her and Shaolin's bow actually looked really similar. So it was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of weird to have two different archers be played different ways, but their weapons kind of look the same. I don't know. Anyway, it's a really good look. All these other changes for TYRAWWRRR, all of these are kind of like skin changes, kind of like just generic changes. So there's really the major change was Cassie. Ruckus got a couple of upgrades along with the digital loot pack that got added, but that's not really, I don't really think that's anything major. If you probably saw in the patch preview too, they made some visual changes to Jaguar Falls. Really all they did was add more Jaguars to it. That's pretty much it. Alright, so let's get into the important stuff, the balance updates and fixes. Androxus, for a cursed arm, explosion damage now falls off towards the edge of the explosion. Fixed an issue where his arm got stuck. Now, the main change is his revolver. His reduced damage goes from 620 to 600. That's really not that big of a change. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. Now, here's kind of going back to Cassie. A lot of people have been asking for is for her to get nerfed. I don't think it was really necessary, but that's just me. So they've reduced her damage from 700 to 650. Changing it by 50 damage is that perfect line where it's like not too much, but she will still get played enough. So just doing that slight change hopefully will make people people happy. but still have enough people that will actually play her still. Eevee's Ice Staff got reduced bonus damage after using Blink from 30 to 20%. I don't really think that's a major difference either. A lot of these are kind of little changes that all it will do is kind of minorly tweak how you play each champion. I don't think any of them are kind of mind-blowing. I do think this one is a little mind-blowing, though. Grover, his health got increased from 2,700 to 3,000, which is, in my mind, a lot for Grover. They've kind of been going back and forth on what they want to do with Grover. He got nerfed, or he got buffed, and then he got nerfed, and now he got a little bit buffed again. Especially, it's not just that his health got increased, but his weapon damage, the base damage, goes from 350 to 400 on top of getting increased health. I remember when I first started playing the game, Grover was probably the biggest pain in the ass I ever came up against. And then he got nerfed, and now he's getting buffed again. And then his damage scaling over distance getting changed a little bit, blah, blah, blah. So, lately I think there's probably been more pips being played. I think with this Grover change, you're going to see a lot more Grovers being played. There's been, in my opinion, there's been a lot of pips and Eevees around, and now I think with Grover being able to do this much damage and having his health pool increase a little bit is probably going to make people play him a lot more now. While Damba, they fixed an issue with him. Speaking of Pip, his Evil Mojo, which is his ultimate, will now travel through shields, and the explosion will hit targets through shields. I think this is a huge change. I think people might be underestimating this change. This means that you'll be able to ult past Fernando's shield, past Barrack's shield, past Ruckus's shield, past every character that has shields. You'll be able to ultimate through them. I think that is huge. I think that's really huge. I think that is going to make Pip a little bit scary, especially if you get cards to increase the speed at which he gets his ult. So I think that is going to be a little bit scary because people rely on those shields. I don't know if I like this change so much because I feel like Pip is a little overpowered right now already. So this kind of scares me. It scares me. It scares me playing against him. It doesn't scare me playing him. I think it's great to play him. Alright, so Shaolin, just minor changes, added first-person camera visual when the target is stunned. So that's a good difference. Alright, so Sky's changes are another one that kind of scare me. Her getting her health reduced by from 2,000 to 1,800 I don't think is that big of a deal. However, her poison bolts, the hit detection got increased by 100%. Yikes. Her wrist crossbow, the maximum accuracy. Okay, this is a little ridiculous in my opinion. The minimum accuracy went from 84 to 90%. Minimum accuracy. And then the reduced accuracy loss per shot from 2% to 1%. I think that's going to be nasty. I think that's going to be nasty, and I hate it because I hate playing against Sky, and I think it's safe to say that just about everybody does. Let's see. All of the other ones look to be like they're just minor visual changes. Oh, they changed the ninja card so that it adds movement speed on top of the base hidden movement speed rather than setting it to a new value. So the ninja will change the movement speed on top of your increased movement speed when you're hidden instead of just changing the overall movement speed. So that way it increases. And that's it. That's pretty much all of the patch notes for OB40. I'm really looking forward to playing Tyra. I think she's going to be a really great addition. I'm really looking forward to see how she fits with everything else. I know everyone's going to say, oh, she's just going to be so OP and they just need to nerf her immediately. But, you know, you just have to figure out how to play against her. Just because a champion is strong doesn't mean they're OP. You just have to learn the best way to play against her. People have already figured out how to play against Shaolin. And he's been released for, what, like a month now. So I think it's just just gonna be people need to kind of get used to playing against her and figure out the best way to, instead of just saying, oh, she's too OP, she's too OP. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please give me a sub down below and hit that like button. If you have a comment, if you disagree with everything I just said, please let me know. If you have more suggestions of content you'd like to see, please let me know. And until then, see you next time.